welcome back. It's another Developer DAO website meeting. It's the 7th of October. Small crowd today, but I'm gonna go work with what we got and just run down the agenda. So we have myself, and then I guess you guys can introduce yourselves however you want.
I'm Narb, uh, one of the maintainers on the website repo, and yeah, pass it off to Raz.
Yeah, I'm just a spectator today. I'm gonna listen to you guys.
Okay. Well, that's everyone that's on, so unless anyone joins later, those are the voices. I don't know if I said it, I'm Greg, and we're going to run down the list. So I guess we can be more meandering than usual, given the lack of attendance, but this is a narrow discussion around specifically the website. Governance is a larger conversation, as are all the other things that touch on the website, but are not actually the website. So normally more of a problem. For action item review, Daiwat's not here to defend himself, but he was tasked with making a walkthrough video of our current stack. I've not had a chance to communicate with him on that. Making or finding something to call out additions to package.json dependencies in order to highlight changes on PRs. Don't think anyone has taken that on yet, partially my own fault for not making an issue out of it. Making or finding a tool to call out translations that are missing in a given language. That is in progress. Marbiano is not here to discuss the creation of a second page. That is the page that comes up when you click on the call to action. I saw there was a little more conversation after last week in the issue for the landing page redesign. Deploying some version of development guidelines into the repo based upon the draft that Arm drew up. You can probably give us more insight on that.
Sure. So that draft was basically a earlier collaboration through a Google Doc, where basically a bunch of us, I think it was Manny and Nagma, Felipe, myself, and perhaps one other that I don't recall. Basically, we just jotted down a bunch of stuff around just like, I guess, developer expectations and kind of what we initially saw as like a set of guidelines based on our past experiences. And then what it kind of, the way it was written was kind of just like hand pointy and like Mandy oriented. So we put that in the repo itself just as a work in progress, something that we'll just continue to add on and refine as we go along.
Mm-hmm.
And then what actually came out of that document was basically a core set of pieces that kind of made up our contribution or contributing doc, and it was and worded more inviting, friendly. Let's say.
Yeah.
So that got put in place now, so people should have a better understanding of kind of the expectations and how to get involved at any skill level. And then there was also a couple of GitHub actions, or sorry, not GitHub actions, GitHub issue templates that were added around what a feature request would look like and what a bug request would look like. So those are added in addition to our translation issue template as well. So those should be used from now on and improved whenever we're drawing up a feature or bug or translation issue.
All right, great, thank you.
Yeah.
And then Kemp was going to look into getting the recording bot to handle direct channel posting, unaware of that status. For triage, I have nothing, so don't believe any of the tickets were new. Or sorry, not tickets, that's very Jira of me. Any of the issues were new. And that brings us on to issues. So there were 9 issues that are stale, so we're watching issues that were last updated more than a week before each of the meetings. 3 of them are translations, which are understandably challenging. Direct Mint PR has been idle for 9 days. That's number 77. Number 76, which was a profile page, has been idle for 13. We're waiting on the person holding the email address to communicate that for setting up analytics for number 97. And there's a Vercel build or deploy issue in number 105. In total, there are 11 open issues. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna, if there's nothing else, I was basically gonna say the direct mint. I believe Nagma said she was going to walk back and take another stab at the code review comments.
Okay.
So I think there'll probably be some action around that. We can ask her, see if she has any bandwidth or whatnot. But
Yep.
I think it's in a good place. I think at least like bare bones functionality wise. And then excuse me, around the build issue. So the issue around that is basically not all the team members on the repo have access to the build logs on Vercel. So like personally, I can't see the build logs to attempt to troubleshoot what's going on with the failed build. I have an idea of what's going on with where I suspect with the server is under provisioned because basically with that the ticket to that ticket that's having the issue is Jira too. The feature that had the issue, basically we're generating static HTML for all the possible locales for the page, the landing page, and so we're going from like 8,000 before we're doing like 8,000 page generation to now 88,000, and while the build is indeed slower than before, it does complete, at least when running locally. But it may be just an issue of like running out of memory, or there isn't enough CPU usage, or there's enough space allocated on the machine. So I think Mark tagged Thomas. I believe he has the perms to add people, but maybe we can have that as an action item.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Get his handle later. Thank you for that update. You can see more than I can.
No worries, no worries.
Yep. And then that brings us to our PRs. So there are 5 open currently. Only one that I can really speak intelligently to was the push for internationalization, and I believe the other ones are more straightforward too. But the push action for internationalization audit has been long and meandering, so it was born out of the last week's action item as a Husky targeted script and has since morphed into a GitHub action. And I mean, the biggest thing to me is that we can't deterministically say that it works until it has write access to issues in GitHub, which is blocked to a forked GitHub action anyway. So they only get read-only writes per the documentation.
Right, yeah.
Otherwise, I think at this point it's resolved all of the improvement commentary stuff.
Yeah, like I looked at the back and forth yesterday on the PR, and indeed it does look like it got resolved. I think the only thing is like whether or not we want like the action itself to kind of live in its own space or to live in the website or something. I believe, but I think that's like a broader discretion with the group rather than just the 3 of us. So maybe we can bring that back the next week. Hopefully, we can get some more peeps in the house.
Yeah.
And then there was also one other PR that was kind of sitting idle for like I think a month. I forget what it was, but I think either Mark or somebody else commented that we'd want the feature, but it was maybe too soon at that time. It's
Maybe the
escaping.
validating token number or the. Actually, it's probably the profile page.
Let me take a look at the GitHub now. It is the so slow on the internet.
Number 4.
Yes, it's number 4 indeed. Yeah.
Okay. So yes, for those that can't see their browser in front of them, that is adding a profile page for the user and the mechanism to authenticate. And that is... I mean, it now has conflicts because it's been open for so long, but yeah, 18 days ago, kind of came to a stop as something we can revisit down the road.
Yeah.
And it actually was the genesis for the issue about auditing our package.json as well.
Yeah. I think maybe it's worth revisiting when we have the minting back. Because basically when we have the minting, then it might kind of play, or maybe this is what the minting kind of morphs into as like a fast follow. Because basically you have to authenticate, connect your wallet to Mint.
Yep.
I suppose maybe did we already solve this issue with the direct minting, or was there something else that we want to take this issue beyond with? But I guess we can also revisit this guy next meeting.
Yeah.
See what the gang says.
Yep. All right. And that is all that I've got. So I've taken a couple of notes. I've got 3 action items, which is to get more people to Vercel access, to get, if we haven't settled the internationalization audit action, in repo versus out of repo, we can discuss that next meeting, and we can revisit pull request number 4 with more people on the call next meeting as well.
Yep.
I will absolutely open the floor to either of you if you have anything at all about the website. I personally don't. And yeah.
No, nothing for me.
Yeah.
I did have. I wanted to get a feel for whether or not we'd want to add like a newsletter section to the website. But I guess that also might have like a dependency tie-in with us getting that Mirror publication kind of up and going eventually, and whether or not we can pull that data to the website. But I guess we can also table this discussion for next week. Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's going to be one of those things of, like, I'm curious about the Mirror run that they did.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure you have to have a wallet to do that, which would imply that the DAO now has a wallet.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I personally found out about Mirror itself like last week, so I haven't really played around with it other than voting yesterday.
Yep.
But yes, it looks promising.
Yeah. And so if we start getting content written, then yes, absolutely, it makes sense. We could have some handy little widget that displays Mirror articles in whatever format we desire or Mirror desires, depending on what access they give us.
Yep, for sure.
But yeah, I will add that to the action items. I know you're trying to hide Raz, but do you have anything to think about for the website?
Oh, not really. I just pushed PR now to add my project to the project list.
Awesome.
It's, just a list, and so nothing major.
Okay. Yeah, I think we'll almost certainly get that in, seeing as that's what we're leaning on for everyone's show your dev.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I think this will be our fastest website meeting yet. Thank you guys for coming.
Sweet. Yep.
Yep.
Thanks for
Thank
hosting.
you.
Yep. And we will talk to you later.
You got it. All right.
Bye,
Cheers,
guys.
gang.
Bye.
See ya. Have a good one.
You too.